It is a privilege to have Mr. Joe Yang, U.S. Commercial Service, United States Consulate in Mumbai, with us to deliver the presentation on bilateral growth, advancing U.S.-India trade and investment potential. Over to you, sir.
Coming up for that day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for allowing us to come in. It seems like you've had a really fantastic program here today, and we really appreciate being allowed to come in and tell you about what we think is a very interesting and relevant program, hopefully for you all. I am the Principal Commercial Officer here at U.S. Consulate Mumbai. I arrived in April of this year, so hopefully for the next 2 years until April of 2026, I'll be the commercial chief there and hopefully have the opportunity to work with all of you at some point during that time. The U.S. Commercial Service has 7 offices throughout India. We're responsible for Mumbai, and then we have an office in Ahmedabad as well. So in addition to those 5 other offices that we have through India, and if you need to be put in touch with any of our colleagues that are there, we can certainly do that. We have over 100 offices throughout the United States, representing all the different states and all the interests that are there and helping find the right partners for you through that. So what do all those resources do? What does the U.S. Commercial Service do? Our congressional mandate, which we do not expect to change at all, is to primarily help U.S. companies export products and services to India. We also have this fantastic program, you're going to hear more about it from our colleagues that run it, is the Select USA program. And that is something that will help Indian companies that are interested in establishing a footprint or expanding a footprint in the United States. And you're going to hear more about it, but last year was a very historic year for India, for Select USA. You're going to hear about women's entrepreneurship and the role that that plays. You're going to hear about the whole range of companies that participate in Select USA, from the early stage startup to MSMEs to the big corporations and conglomerates. So without further ado, we have a team of 14, by the way, here in Mumbai that cover all the different sectors. I'm pleased and we're lucky to have 2 of our best here today, Dipti Kahar and Naveen Vizirani. They will take you through the Select USA program. We're going to have a presentation, a very short video, and then we'll hopefully answer any questions that you have. So thank you again for letting us come in and participate. Dipti and Naveen, over to you.
Thank you, Joe. So my name is Naveen Vazirani. I am a commercial specialist here at the U.S. Consulate in BKC. This is the slide which Joe talked about our presence here and how we are helping U.S. exporters to find a partner in India or Indian companies such as yours that are looking to invest in the USA. This program is called the Select USA program, and it is the U.S. Department of Commerce-led program, which is helping greenfield investments into US. This is, Select USA operates as a geographically neutral, so we cannot tell you to invest in a particular state or choose another state. So we will give you all the tax incentives or the programs that are from each and every state. That will depend on you to choose what is your best investment options. And since this program has started, we have over 250 billion client verified investments in the US, and that has supported more than 230,000 jobs in the US across all the 56 states and territories. So when a first-time investor such as yours, you will have a lot of questions on what kind of visas I would need, what kind of taxation structures are there, or what kind of business structure should I go and create. So there are many basic questions which every first-time investor or an existing investor, so if you already have operations in the US, you want to expand into another state, you would want to understand what is the benefit the other states or what is the incentive for me to start their operations there. So most of these basic questions which a first-time investor such as yours will have, we all put up in a public domain on our Select USA website. So if you see, we have investor guide. So there are like 180 pages chapters talking about business structures and all the data that you need to understand which is the right place to invest, what kind of visas should be opting for, what is the workforce requirement there, what are the taxes requirements in the US. And then we have, for key industries, we have developed some kind of research reports on our website that gives you what is the opportunity, for example, IT, automotive, EV, battery manufacturing. So these are all research reports for key industries that talk about what is the potential for investments in the US, what is happening in the US, where is the development there. Plus, we have a lot of tools on our website that will help you understand, when you're going about investing in the US. So these are some of the tools that we have already preloaded on our website for you to go to when you start investing in the US. So Select USA is basically a program which is available for all companies, including large, medium, small startups, and there are special programs for women entrepreneurs, which we'll get into it. And so this program is available 365 days a year, but our flagship program is our investment summit, which happens when all the states come together under one roof for 4 days, and they talk about what is the incentives, what each and every state is offering. So last year, which Joe mentioned, there was a delegation led by the US Ambassador, Eric Garcetti, and there were close to 200 delegates from India. They were a part of this investment summit, which we'll get into more details. This was one of our largest summit ever last year. And the next one, I'll invite my colleague to talk more about the summit, what happens there, what is the programming that have been launched, and how you guys can take a benefit of it. Over to Dipti. Thank you.
Thanks, Naveen. So this is our annual flagship event under the Select USA program. As Naveen mentioned, if any of y'all want to talk about your expansion journey, specialists like me, Naveen, Jayashree, our colleague here, and in fact our officers, Joe and Pian, you can reach out to any of us to discuss how you want to go about your US expansion plans and journey. But one such good, highly recommended starting point can be the Select USA Summit. This is our annual flagship event. Typically, this is done around May-June period every year. So the recent one, which was in 2024, was concluded in June. The next edition is now in May 2025. The dates are 11th to the 14th of May. And this is held in Washington, D.C., where all the state representatives, industry members from across the world come together. So these are some numbers of our recently held summit, which was scheduled in June 2024. We had over 5,000 participants coming from over 90 countries that participated at the summit. And as state representatives, all states were represented, including the territories of the US. So if you're thinking of any particular state or maybe a group of states in the US, you can be sure to meet representatives from each of those states at the summit. Talking about our leadership speaking at the summit, traditionally we've always seen the US president addressing at the summit either in person or virtually. We have various leaders participating from the cabinet level and from White House. We have over hundreds of sessions, and these are taken up by specialists, industry leaders. So we have about 165 speakers that speak at the session. And each delegation from a country is led by the ambassador. For example, the US ambassador in India led the delegation past 2 years to the summit. 2024 was a historic event because it was our largest summit. It was the 10th edition. We had over 230 participants from India. And along with the Indian delegation, we also had delegation members from other countries and neighboring partner posts, which we cover from India. So we had participants from Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, all of these. These are some of the top markets, like you can see, that participated at the summit. India, of course, had the largest delegation, so which is why we call it the historic here. And in terms of sectors, all sectors are very well represented at the summit. So you could be a person from the ICT sector, or you could be from the pharmaceutical sector, chemical sector, any sector, you name it, and you would have a session that's specified specifically for the sector that you operate in. And you will have the opportunity to meet with leaders from that sector and interact with them. Most often what we've also seen is, one is of course the formal programming that happens at the summit, but in addition to the formal programming, there's a lot of peer-to-peer learning, and that's the opportunity that the summit presents. These are some photographs from the previous year's summit. As you can see, there is this photo on my extreme left is the photo which was at the US, Indian Embassy in the US. In this photograph, you can see the US Ambassador in India, Eric Gorsati, and the Indian Ambassador in US. He was then Mr. Taranjeet Singh Sardhu, who was the Indian Ambassador in the US. At this reception, we had launched a report, which was done by one of the chambers of commerce. The report is titled Indian Roots, American Soil, talks about all the Indian investments into the US and how they are placed in the US, which sectors they operate in. And this is a biannual report. We are hoping to have the next edition of the report released at the 2025 summit. Then on the right-hand side, you see the India delegation photo from the 2023 summit. And on the left-hand side bottom, you can see the reception that was hosted exclusively in honor of the India delegation at the summit. And this was hosted by the Indian ambassador at the Indian Embassy in the US on the sidelines of the summit. So these are all the opportunities that you get for engagement beyond the formal programming at the summit. This is from the 24 summit. Again, you see the US ambassador in India, Eric Gorsati, along with the delegation members at the summit. One excellent opportunity that the summit offers is investment announcement. Like Naveen was mentioning, we can work with you throughout the year in helping you plan your expansion journey in the US. And whenever you're ready to announce or make your investment information public, the summit can be an excellent platform to help you amplify the message, not just in the US, but globally. We can work with our corporate communications team, with our PR team to make sure that your messaging is out on social media, on our website, and through a public press release also. So these are two announcements made by Indian companies, prominent Indian companies that chose to use the summit as a platform. Of course, these are big companies, but if you're a small company, you're a startup, you're an MSME, you're an SME, you're free to use the platform of the summit and make the announcement. This is a small video that we would like to play for you. It talks about experience of, I think it's not playing. Maybe we'll share the slide with you later on the video. This is talking about the experience of summit participants and how the summit has been helpful. Another aspect that we want to talk about is the Select USA Tech and Select Global Women in Tech. This is specifically for startups and women entrepreneurs. Like I was mentioning, the summit is, of course, for bigger companies, smaller companies, but there's a specific focus on startups and women-owned enterprises. So if you're a startup wanting to explore the US market, wanting to start your journey within the US in the next 2 to 3 years, then the summit has a specific channel of programming which can help you do your pitching rounds, which can help you get introduced to investors, which can help you get introduced to leaders, and who can guide you further in your expansion journey. There is a global level pitching competition that's also held at the summit, which startups are welcome to participate in. At the moment, the Select USA program for startups focuses only on technology startups. And then on the women entrepreneurs side, we have a specific mentorship program that helps mentor women entrepreneurs in their US expansion journey. Typically, this women mentorship program gets launched every year at the summit. So the next edition will get launched in May at the next edition of the summit. And then it involves 6 months to 12 months of training, mentorship program, one-on-one counseling, so that women leaders are ready to take that leap into the US market. So this is just the details of the summit that I was mentioning, and the next slide has all our details. So you can scan the QR code, which will take you directly to the summit website, and you can register yourself online. Right now, till February 28, we have the early bird registration discount option available. So in case you want to register, you can register early and take a benefit of the early bird registration discount. And then you have our email IDs. You can feel free to reach out to any of us and either meet us in our office or set up a call with us, and we'll be happy to talk to you about your expansion journey or about your participation at the summit. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you so much for the presentation. I now request Mr. Hemant Tavde, Chamber, MSME Forum, Bombay Chamber, and co-founder Revati Industries to present a memento to Mr. Joe Yang, US Commercial Service, United States Consulate in Mumbai as a token of appreciation. We'll be playing the video after the presentation.
The United States has always been a premier destination for international investment.
Well, number one, the US is a very, very important market. I think there's no question that you have to be in the USA.
International businesses should invest in the United States because the United States is the largest market on the planet.
US is very much business friendly. As long as you make a good product, you will be accepted.
So my name is Bernhard Kuhnt. I'm actually working for BMW, and my role is the CEO of the Americas. Well, BMW is a really established German successful company, and I'm proud to be part of it.
My name is Terry Gill, and I'm the Secretary of the Cabinet for Economic Development for the state of Kentucky.
My name is Vivek Sareen, and I'm the Executive Officer for the Cabinet of Economic Development. And our mission is to drive investment throughout the entire state and create jobs.
My name is Hiroyuki Takigawa. I'm president of Takigawa Corporation. Takigawa Corporation started the plastic packaging business in 1949.
I'm Nancy McClernand, President and CEO of the Organization for International Investment. This summit is amazing. You have thousands of companies and economic development officers focused on one thing: bringing your investment to the United States.
The U.S. is the most stable place to invest capital in the world today.
Spartanburg is the biggest factory we have globally. We opened about 25 years ago. And those 25 years ago until now, we spent about $9.1 billion in the area of South Carolina. And we benefit from it, so you could nearly say it's a win-win situation.
So we decided to have a plan in US, and I participated Select USA last year. And it was the best decision I made.
Select USA has been a fantastic addition at the federal level. Companies that used to be concerned about entering our market, trying to navigate our sub-federal system, don't have to be as concerned.
I think over many years, Select USA helped us with a variety of topics, whether it's the workforce, whether it's legal, whether it's the locations. It's a variety of topics which we really need to talk to someone who knows it and has the experience.
State and local policymakers are ready to partner with you. They want to understand the skills that are needed to ensure that your business can grow and succeed in the United States.
It's not also just about convincing a company to come here, but have a great experience 3, 5, 10 years from now.
Select USA doesn't make difference between small company and big company. And even we are small, within 2 days, I could meet 11 states and discuss my plan, and I received about 150 site offer, and it was very difficult to choose one.
Now is a wonderful time to consider doing business in America.
If you're serious about growing your business worldwide, you know you need to be in the U.S. market.
I think any company can succeed in the US, and I think that starts with little opportunity, one person having a dream, and I can only encourage you to invest into the USA.
So I'm very honored to have that groundbreaking ceremony. And I would like to wish all the best to everyone who made our dream come true. This will be the day that I will certainly never forget.
It's okay. I just wanted to leave you with one final remark, and that is, I think from the pictures you saw, you could see the nature of the historic year it was for the India delegation last year. It wasn't because of the numbers. When that was happening, we were getting messages, calls from our leadership back in Washington, D.C., up in Delhi. It was the quality of the delegation. The delegation was there to do business. They represented India so well. As we head into the new year, into our new administration, the commercial ties between U.S. and Indian companies are so strong. We expect to be very busy. We look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
I would like to call Mr. Rajan Raje, Chairperson, Bombay Chamber MSME Forum, and R. Srinivasan, Co-Chairperson, Bombay Chamber MSME Forum, to kindly join us on the dais to have a group photo with Mr. Jo Yang.